Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today. My name's Anita. This is Sightless Living. Today I will be answering the question, why do blind people use food bumpers and or plate guards? Plate guards and food bumpers are one and the same. We use plate guards and food bumpers to help keep our food in the plate. When you first go blind, it's kind of difficult to keep your food in the plate when you're eating. I don't mean you slap it all over the place, but I have a spoon in my hand here, as you take your food and scoop it towards you, maybe you scoop away from you, it tends to spread out in the plate and eventually it just seeps over the sides. And before you know it, if you have peas and carrots, you may have a couple of peas under the plate sitting on the table. You may have a couple of carrots. If you have mashed potatoes, they may tend to bleed over and fall off the plate. All in all, at the end of the day, you'll have a mess. When you lift up your plate, there's all your food sitting around it where it slid off. So what you can do is get a food bumper or a plate guard. People call it different things. Retailers sell them as different items. Mine here is called a food bumper. And it comes in a Ziploc package. And I open it up. Inside you find a plastic circle object. You're like, what the heck is that? How's that supposed to work? I will show you in a minute how it is supposed to work. And you get a card here, informational card. And I believe it has the item number and the package name and things like that. And then you also get the brochure from the company, which I'm told features other products that they have. So I'm going to sit the packaging over here to the left of me, your right. And I'm going to pick up, which I am now doing, picking up the plastic food bumper. I'm going to explain this little guy here. So my food bumper is white in color and is about an inch and a quarter inch high from sitting flat on the plate. When you first take it out the bag, you'll see or feel a tab at the bottom and two tabs at the top. The tab at the bottom is at 6 o'clock. And then you have two at your 12 o'clock. So what you want to do is push one forward and pull one towards you. And that's going to turn it sideways for the camera. And that's going to release it because it's hooked on itself. When you release it, it fits comfortably on the top, side by side. It's not hooked up. What we'll do now is have the tabs with the hook facing away from you, and you are going to take the 6 o'clock position, put it at 6 o'clock on your plate. You're going to take both thumbs and spread them wide to the left and right, so you'll end up with a tab at 3 o'clock and a tab at 9 o'clock. And there you go. It is applied. So looking from the back, you'll see a tab at your 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and you will see a tab at 6 o'clock. When you look at it from the front, you'll see the tab now it's at your 12 o'clock and the other two at your 3 and 9 o'clock. You'll notice that the food bumper covers half the plate and the other half is open. Let me show you how to use it now. Usually when you're eating, you leave the open part towards you, and you have the food bumper at your 3, 9, and 12 o'clock, and that is the protection. That's how I sit my plate down on the table, but then I turn it. Depends on which way I'm going to eat it. And then I have some dried beans of color because the plate is white, the bumper is white, and this way, anybody with low vision will hopefully see the peas. Like I was served some beans that are cooked, of course. These are not cooked. And I'm going to show it to the camera. I'm going to turn the opening of the plate to the camera. And now I'm going to take a spoon. I have a measuring cup down here. So I'll grab that because this is what we're going to do. We are going to take the peas that are in the plate and put them in the measuring cup. I'll take the little spoon first. So I take the little spoon, and as you can see, I'm bringing my spoon in to gather some dry beans, and I'm hitting it against the bumper, and I got a load of beans in my spoon. See, I'm pouring it in the cup. Those blind friends, you can hear me doing this. I'm scraping the beans, my spoon to the bumper. I'm hitting the bumper, and I got beans in my spoon. Okay, so that's the spoon. And here's a bigger spoon. Scrape it to the bumper, which I'm hitting, and there are beans in my spoon. I pour them in the measuring cup. Now we did the 2 spoons. Now I have a knife. Where is my fork? And a fork. But since we don't have any meat to cut, I'll just leave the knife here and use a fork. Same thing. Bring it to the bumper, pick up your food, and for this demonstration, I'm pouring it in the cup. Now, it's kind of hard to pick up with the fork dry beans because they're small. See, I'll be all day doing this. But anyway, you get the idea. So you can use any kind of utensils. Let's see, if I had 2 knives, I could do chopsticks because I can use those. Just kidding. That's the gist of it. What it does is it keeps your food in that plate. See, I'm even pushing it with my hand against the bumper, and nothing's happening. It's staying right in the plate. So now I'm going to take the food bumper off by just stretching it out some, releasing it from the lip of the plate, and sliding it down so the bottom releases. I'm going to sit the bumper over here. We're going to put the rest of the peas that were in the plate here, and the peas are in the middle. And now I'm going to take, let's see. Now what I do is I use a knife and a fork, but in this demonstration I'm doing a spoon. And you can use your knife as a food bumper. I'm going to pour it into my cup here. But this is a spoon, and you can use that. Now let me show you what happens when you don't use a knife. So I have a spoon in my hand. I have peas for dinner, dry beans. I'm going to try to gather some. Did I get some? Yes, I got some. So I put them in the measuring cup. Let's say I scoop to the front. Did I get some? Yep, I got some. Let's put it in here. I'll scoop to the side. I'll scoop to the left and scoop to the right. Scoop to the day and scoop to the night. Just kidding. But anyway, you see what's happening? The peas are falling all over the table. Or dry beans, I should say. People call them the same thing. Beans, peas. But as I scoop, I'm losing my food. And I look down, not because I can see, but because I'm trained. My mother always said, look at me when I'm talking to you. And that's what we do. I'm trained that when I hear a sound, I look. Even if someone's speaking to me and they just walk the other way, I'll still be looking in the last direction they talk to me. Just wanted to point it out for you who can see me looking down. Now I have a table full of peas where they came out of my plate. And that is what this food bumper / food guard is for. Now I just poured all the peas on the table, and I'm going to have my spouse pick them up. Anyway, when I was new to blindness, this was a handy tool. And I still use it today sometimes. So I don't have to go any further with that, just to show you the mess that I have made. Peas on the table. That means the tablecloth is dirty. I've spilled my food. And don't be embarrassed you're an adult and you're spilling food and things like that, because it happens to everybody, even when we get older. Don't be embarrassed that you're blind and you need a food guard or a food bumper. This helps you eat with surety. You know you're gonna have your food eaten, but it's not gonna be all over the table or all over yourself. You can sit there with confidence and pump up your shoulders because you don't roll like that. You're rolling where you eat your food and your food goes in your tummy and not on the table. That's another confidence builder when you're new to blindness. Some people get embarrassed. I don't care. I don't want to be spilling my food on my clothes. Clothes are an investment. I keep everything in perspective and think about everything, and I don't care what other people think. So if you feel embarrassed to use one of these, then get a scoop plate. But when you're new to blindness, I don't know, maybe other people have better skills than I did when I first went blind. But this is stuff you don't even think about. Basics, eating, drinking, cooking. Now the food bumper / plate guard is handy for, I'm going to put it back on here. I'll just dump the rest out onto the table. The rest of the peas, dry beans. I'm going to put the food bumper plate guard back on. So I'm going to take the back one, the 6 o'clock one, tab, and stick it on the plate. I'm going to take the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock tab, stick it on the plate. It's that simple. This is great for children if you want to promote independent eating, seniors, blind people, disabled people, people that have use of only one arm or maybe have only one arm. It's great for anybody. If you have the shakes, if you had your surgery on your arm is in a cast, it's great for anybody, not just blind people. I wanted to show you that gadget. It's a handy gadget to have, and I love it. I've been using it since I went blind. Now I'm a little more advanced in this, and as you get advanced, you may feel you don't need it, but I still use it once in a while. It depends. If I want to sit and watch television with other people, usually I'm the last one in the kitchen, sitting at the table or the dining room because everyone has left me, they finished, and I'm still working with my food because I don't want to drop it, then I'll take this with me. Then I could be sitting there like the other sighted folks with my fork and just eating, watching television and scraping and putting my food. Use a fork, you can use a spoon, but you can just hold it up, not far from the mouth, and you can be just like everybody else. Now this food guard, well, mine, it does fit 8-inch to 11-inch plates. I don't know what size my little plate here is for the demonstration, but it fits it. This retails anywhere from $7 to $19. You can find these in your independent living aid stores. If there's something you'd like to see, be sure to make comments. I hope you enjoyed this gadget and this tip. It's called the food bumper and or plate guard. They call them different things depending on the manufacturer, but they both do the same thing. It's about 1 inch high. Mine is white in color, but I've heard about blue. Some go in the microwave. I don't know if mine does. I wash it by hand and I don't put it in the microwave. Not everything goes in the microwave that they say goes in the microwave. Folks, if you like informational gadget alert videos like this one, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the subscription button, ring that notification bell. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.